Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Liaquat. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, enjoying yourselves. Right, so this is Mukhtasar al-Qudoori, and if you were watching last week's lesson, then you'll understand what's happening here. If you have not been watching last week's lesson, make sure you watch it, because this is a continuation of that lesson. And because I miscalculated and had too many lines to cover, so I decided to do half then and half now, and inshallah, there is nothing wrong with that, inshallah. Right, so let's continue with this masala. Then remember, last week we done the tarkeeb and we explained the words, so really it's just a matter of trying to explain the masala here now. Okay, so here he says وَتَنْعَقِدُ, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys don't need tarkeeb anymore. Am I right? Is the time of tarkeeb, have you guys weaned off tarkeeb? Are you guys free of tarkeeb now, tarkeeb addiction? Right, so وَتَنْعَقِدُ al-Wakala and Kafala. Remember, this is talking about 4 types of shirka we talk about. This is mufawada, unlimited. Right, so remember, we have unlimited shirka, we have limited shirka, we have credit shirka, right, credit partnership, and we have physical labor. Right, so physical labor partnership. So here, basically what's happened, remember, you have these 2 individuals over here, and these 2 individuals are going to share their assets now, right? And we said last week, they have to be free, they cannot be slaves, they can't be children, minors, they have to be one religion, Muslim. So تنعقد الوكالة والكفالة. So this type of contract, so each of them have exactly the same types of assets. We're going to talk about what kind of assets you can use for this type of contract, right? Which is only assets that are fungible currency, basically gold, silver and cash. That's all you can use for this. So let's say, for example, this guy has 1,000 and this guy has 1,000. That's it. They can't have anything else, right? So when this guy now goes to buy something, when he goes to buy, right, and sell, right, so he's going to buy, and then this guy's going to also buy stuff, because they're doing it for a business. So logically, they'd want to buy and sell things. And likewise sell. And this guy's going to go and sell. So basically what happens is, whatever he's going to buy, remember that money now is actually considered to be part of the kitty. In fact, if I just cut that out there, if I just draw this, because this is basically the kitty now. So we're going to move this to here. Right, so make it a bit smaller. And we're going to move this over here as well. There you go. And there you have it. So you got, this is the wealth that they have accumulated. So remember, this guy's going to be buying things with his cash, buying things with his cash. So whatever he buys, right, and whatever he sells, then what is this going to be recognized in bayt? Now, we haven't done this before, but this is what we call Wakala and Kafala. Right, so Wakala and Kafala. So Wakil, this is the Wakil and Kafil. What is a Wakil? Wakil is someone who is, someone who you have made your agent to go and do things for you. Right, so someone who has done things for you. So like, for example, if I say to you, you're watching me, your name's Zaid or your name's Zainab, I said to you, right, Zainab, can you go to the shops and buy me a coffee? You go to the shops, you buy me a coffee, you come back, you're my wakil, you are. I'm what is called the muwakkil. So I am the person who has made you an agent on my behalf. So whatever dealings you do over there, you're doing on my behalf. The coffee you're buying, you're doing on my behalf. So when you bring the coffee back, I will simply give you the money for reimburse you for it. All right. So this is known as wakala. Kafala is where a person guarantees someone. So for example, let's say, I don't know, let's say you say to me, well, let me draw. Why am I not drawing these things? Yeah, because, with drawing, everything becomes clear. So let me just draw it over here so it becomes clear. So for instance, let's say, right, there's this guy. And this guy is going to go buy a car. The car owner, it looks like a bus. The car owner says, look, how do I know you're going to pay the money? The cost of the bus, let's say it's 10k. How do I know you're going to pay? Give me a guarantee. Get someone else that if you can't pay for it, then they will fork out the money. They'll give you the money, right? So this person that he's talking about is called a kafil. You call him a kafil. The kafil is the guy who will step in if you can't pay for it, and he will pay for it, and then you pay him back later, right? Kafala. This is basically what credit cards do, in a way. That if you can't pay for it, you pay with your credit card, and then you reimburse them. Although many call this hawala, but it's also kafala as well, in the sense that you have a kafil. So you have a kafil, and you have someone called a wakil, right? So he's basically saying, if this guy goes and buys something, so let's say he's gone and bought a house, right? He's gone and bought a house. So let's say he bought the house for 500. He buys the house. Then what that basically means is that 500 is part of the entire 2,000, right? So it's part of the 2,000 that's going to go for it. And whatever he owes anyone, if he can't pay for it, the other guy will pay for it. Does that make sense? So this guy buying the house, it's as though he bought 50% of it for himself and 50% of it for his partner. So for his partner, he's acting as a wakil, right? So he's acting as a wakil, right? So it's like, I sent this guy over here, let's call him Zaid, and let's call this guy Khalid. So it's like, as the Zaid said to him, right, go and buy this house, half this house for me, even though he didn't say it. So therefore, he's acting as a wakil partially, and if this guy buys, let's say something, he buys a car, and he can't pay for it, then this guy, Khalid, is going to be a kafil, a guarantor. Right? So if he can't pay for it, he'll come and save him with this money, of course. Does that make sense? So in other words, these two partners, the way that the partnership is built, the model upon which the partnership is built is a kafala wakala model. That's what we say. So whatever one of them buys, he's buying half of it as a wakil on the other half, behalf of the other guy. And whatever he owes the seller, then the other guy will be the guarantor for him on that. Does that make sense? So this is basically what he's saying. So tan'aqidu, so let's do this in a different color. Tan'aqidu, so this shirka, unlimited shirka, is contracted upon the wakala and kafala model. So understand now, a whole chapter is going to come on kafala, whole chapter on wakala. But all I want you to understand at this stage is we need to understand how the model of this contract actually works. Like, on what basis are they partners? How does the partnership work? So kafala and wakala are basically sort of like devices, you can say, instruments inside the trade that help them make money. وَمَا يَشْتَرِيهِ, and whatever كُلُّ واحد, each one of them buys. This guy's bought a house, and this guy's bought a car. يَكُونُ عَلَى الشِّرْكَةِ, this buying will be for the business, for the partnership. That's what it's going to be upon the partners. Anything they buy, anything. Is there any exemption to this? Yes. Exemption is when it comes to, let's say, for example, food for the family, clothes, right? So basic needs, whatever are the basic needs, then those basic needs are exempted. These are, right? So those are not going to be part of the business, right? So he says, illa, except for ta'ama ahlihi wa kiswatahum, except for the food that he buys for his family and the clothes. And that's not going to be considered as legally as part of the partnership. But anything else they buy, right, besides food and clothing and basic necessities, is going to be done for the business. So if the guy turns around and said, what did you buy? I bought a mobile phone. What was it for? He goes, no, I bought it for a gift for someone. No, it has to be for the business, unless it's like a darura, a need. Okay. Then he says, وَمَا يَلْزَمُ كُلُّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا, anything that each of the two partners has incurred upon themselves, like here 500, and here he bought the car, let's say, he bought the car for, let's say, 200. Anything that the two partners have incurred, any debts that they have incurred, وَمَا يَلْزَمُ, and whatever they have made lazim upon each other, مِنَ الدُّيُونِ, of debts, badalan, in exchange, عَمَّا يَصِحُ, of those things in which it's valid to have partnership, ishtirak. Then the other person will be dhamin, will be legally responsible lahu, through kafala, through kafala. So whatever one of them buys, so if it's me and you as partners, whatever I buy, half of it is going to be yours. And whatever you buy, half is going to be mine. And whatever I buy, you're going to be responsible for half of it as well. And so you have to be willing to give that money as well. All right. Now, remember, this type of transaction is a very, very delicate transaction, because if any of the two partners acquires any wealth in which partnership can be done, they are no longer unlimited partners. There's no longer mufawada. It becomes inan now. So it becomes limited. So that's why they have to have the exact equal amount of cash, gold and silver with each other. If one of them gets a gift, or if one of them gets inheritance, then it's all over. Right? Then it's no longer. So this is why, let's say for example, one of these guys, he got a gift, or he got inheritance from his grandparents or parents, right? He got a gift or he got inheritance. Then depending on what they get, so it's either going to be something which the part accepted in the partnership, right? So tick, or not accepted in the partnership. So basically what is not accepted, like anything that's not cash, gold and silver, right? So if it's like a car, one of them receives a car or a house or clothing, the partnership still continues. So he says, فَإِنْ وَرِثَ, if one of the two, أَحَدُهُمَا مَالًا, inherits wealth, مِمَّا تَصِحُ, in which shirka is correct, أو وُهِبَ لَهُ, or he was gifted, so inheritance or gifted, وَوَصَّلَ إِلَى يَدِهِ, and the stuff gets to his hands, like he takes possession of it, بَطَلَتْ الْمُفَاوَضَةُ, the mufawada, unlimited partnership, is now void now, because you can't have it anymore. Unlimited partnership is a very difficult, I don't know how people are able to do this. It's very difficult to be able to maintain. So it automatically now shifts into the next type of partnership, which is called inan, right? Limited partnership. وَصَارَتْ الشِّرْكَةُ, and this partnership becomes inan. Okay, what kind of things does the partnership occur in? What kind of things can it happen? It can only happen with gold, silver, and in today's times, cash. These are the three things, right? It happens. Now, let's say, for example, one of them has a car, one has a laptop or a mobile phone, and he wants to do shirka in that. How can they do it? So what they can do is, if let's say this is two guys, and they've got none of the above, they don't have gold, they don't have silver, they don't have cash, and they want to still do partnership through mufawada, what they can do, if this guy has got, let's say, for example, a laptop, and this guy's got, I don't know, a house, they can sell each other half and half. They can say to each other, right, you sell me half of that laptop and I'll sell you half of this house. So then what happens is now they have equal assets. Does that make sense? Yeah, so now they can have equal assets. So وَلَا تَنْعَقِدُ الشِّرْكَةُ, shirkatu cannot be contracted إِلَّا بِالدَّرَاهِمْ, except with darahim, gold, وَالدَّنَانِيرِ, silver, وَالْفُلُوس النَّافِقَةِ, and subcurrency. Yeah, so subcurrency that's in circulation, nafiqa. وَلَا يَجُوزُ بِمَا سِوَى ذَلِكَ, and it's not permitted in anything besides that, إِلَّا أَن يَتَعَامَلَ النَّاسِ بِهَا كَالتِّبْرِ وَالنُّقْرَةِ, unless the people mutually or in the society they deal in that kind of thing, which he gives an example of nuggets, right? So gold nuggets, silver nuggets. So if that particular society deals in gold nuggets, they buy and sell things commonly with gold and silver nuggets, then you can use that. And in that case, فَتَصِحُّ الشِّرْكَ بِهِمَا, right? So you have to look at the society. Let's say this society in today's times uses cash. We can use cash then as a capital in the partnership. All right. And then he says, وَإِذَا أَرَادَ الشِّرْكَةَ, if they both want to do shirka, but in what? In urud, in non-cash. بَاعَ كُلُّ وَاحِدْ مِنْهُمَا نِصْفَ مَالِهِ, what he does is he sells half of his goods بِالنِّصْفِ مَال الْآخَرِ, with half of the other. ثُمَّ أَقَدَ الشِّرْكَ, now then they start the shirka, and they can sell the stuff and then buy and sell. So if they really want to do mufawada, then they have to do half and half, the 50-50 law. Alright, so everything I have that I want to sell, I sell half of it to my partner, and everything my partner has, he sells half of it to me. So now we're technically got the same assets. Does that make sense? And khalas. That's it, guys. So this is Shirka, remember what we did last week? We talked about different types of shirka. There's shirka, which is just the normal general shirka partnership that you have in goods, and then you have one that's contractual. The contractual ones that we're interested in, right? So this is our 4 types, and we mentioned what the 4 types are. So today's questions for you guys then is as follows. Okay, question number 1. On what basis does the partnership work? So it works on the basis of Wakala and Kafala. Right, so these are the 2 things that it's going to work upon. Wakil, making someone your agent, works on your behalf, or Kafil, guarantor. Okay, and how does this exactly work? So the answer, the way this works is that one person goes and buys things and sells it, and then whatever he buys, half of it belongs to the other guy. So he's as though he's a wakil on 50% of whatever he's bought, and whatever he owes the seller, the shop or whatever, the other guy is a guarantor of half of it. Okay, and what if one of the 2 inherits something or is gifted something? Does that spoil the partnership? So we say not necessarily. When does it spoil the partnership? If they inherit something which can be used as partnership capital, like cash, gold and silver. Okay, and when does it not affect the partnership? If it's none of those. Okay, let's say for example, like someone wants to do partnership. What kind of things can they use capital? They can use cash, gold, silver, and if in circulation of the society is other things like nuggets, they can use that as well. Okay, what if they don't have that? What if they want to do shirka still, but they only have non-currency goods? Then what do? Then what they have to do is sell half and half to each other. Khalas. Let me know what you guys think of these lessons, guys, if you enjoy them, because I don't know who's watching these lessons, who's benefiting, who's not. And also share these lessons with others as well so that people can benefit. And that's it, guys. If you guys enjoy my videos, please consider becoming patrons. Support my channel on a monthly basis. £1 a month, $1 a month, £10, 10, 20, whatever you want to give on a monthly basis. Or you can do one-offs, inshallah. Details in the description below. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, lovely people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.